our man's Kerryon Johnson.
Love Kerryon.
Kerryon Johnson came into the year last year as I think he was drafted. I can't remember what year.
Round?
He was a second-round pick, but what year was he drafted? I think he was a rookie.
Last year. Yeah, last year.
It was his rookie season. So he came into last year, and he wasn't utilized as much, early in the season. The first couple weeks he had about 13, 14 touches, but they started to see a little bit of, talent in this guy, and they wanted to utilize him to the point where, he got hurt in week 5, but in week 7... In week 8, he had 19, 15. Week 9, he had 7. Week 10 and 11, he had 24 and 17. So when they figured out they could use him and how to utilize him, he ended up turning out to be a really good running back. The reason why he is on our breakouts list is because, A, they got rid of Theoretic, and B, they got rid of LeGarrette Blount. So those two guys were stealing a lot. It was like Theoretic was stealing his passing numbers, and LeGarrette Blount was stealing his rushing numbers, and so he was basically getting crap for snaps. So not having those two guys there really does help Kerryon Johnson get more of a role. He's probably going to get way more targets than rushing attempts because C.J. Anderson is there, but if the guy consistently gets between 18 and 20 touches a game, you're going to see him put up 15 to 20 fantasy points. That's just what he's going to do. I think that the only concern for me is just red zone or snap percentage, because when they get in the red zone, it's literally just going to be, unless they're going to pass it, it's going to be C.J. Anderson getting the ball. And so I think you could see a disparity in total touchdowns for him last year. Over the course of 10 games, he had 4 touchdowns. But I think if he can increase that, get 8, 9 rushing touchdowns, and then maybe 2 passing, or receiving, I should say, touchdowns, I think that'll be good. But he needs to get upwards of 60 to 65 receptions and 1,200, I would say 1,400 yards. But I think he can break out and be an RB1.
I agree, because I think the big thing with Kerryon Johnson this year is I think he can be the workhorse guy on a team that values him as that, which is kind of starting to become rare in this league now. A lot of teams are either just awful or don't know how to use the running back, wants to use 2 running backs. Mm-hmm. I think there's a good chance C.J. Anderson won't be used a lot this year, other than goal line situations. Yeah. But if the Lions use Kerryon the right way, he can be a top 10 back in fantasy pretty easily.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah, I think because with the cut of Theo Reddick, I think that'll be huge for passing game wise, because on offense, who's the guy on the Lions right now? Who's the best? If you're a defensive coordinator, who are you shutting down?
I don't know.
It's Kerryon Johnson.
Yeah, Kerryon Johnson, definitely.
He's going to be the...
I'm trying to find another guy besides Kerryon that's not Marvin Jones.
Right. Yeah, no, that's not but good. I don't think the team is bad. And if you believe in Matt Stafford like I do, I think he'll get... I mean, Matt Stafford also has a history of using running backs in the passing game too. Right. So I think the Lions' offense will be decent this year, but it'll be focused around Kerryon Johnson, which I think will be huge for him. Right. And he's very talented, and he can make that work.